Virgin Dam BLM, and it is such a great spot to boondock. The views are just beautiful all around, and the cool thing about this spot is that it's about 20 minutes away from the south entrance to Zion National Park. So I think it's a really great option if you ever want to go visit the park but don't want to or can't stay inside the national park. This would be like a great place to park your rig and then take a day trip into the park.
Yeah, we've been here for a couple of days, and the first day we were here it poured down rain the entire day, and the boys had lots of fun playing in the mud and the puddles. Mud puddles that have been following us since the Grand Canyon. Today we're making our way towards Capitol Reef National Park.
Hopefully, anyway, if the weather actually cooperates. There's been some snowstorms across southern Utah, and so we're hoping that the path will be clear. So far, so good.
Capitol Reef National Park, and our first stop here is Panorama Point. I just love the rocks that they have around here. It's so cool. I think those cliffs are so cool. I just love those layers. Oh, it's just so neat. It just makes you think of all the history, you know? Like, man, if these rocks could talk, what would they say? Center time. You ready, Sammy?
Yes. The visitor center is up that
Found out some information about the trails around here. It looks like there's only one trail that's stroller accessible, and that's the Fremont River Trail, but there might not be adequate parking. Yeah, so we wanted to do Hickman Bridge, right? But the ranger said that we would leave a stroller up there. So we need a carrier, a baby carrier. And the scenic drive, we might not be able to go down it because he said that there would be nowhere for us to turn around and come back. And the limit for length on that road is 27 feet, and we're 32 feet. So it'd be really good if we had a car right about now, but we can still go to some of these other places on the side of the road and pull off and, you know, take pictures and admire the scenery. So let's just go and see what we can do. Let's go have fun.
thing about Capitol Reef that makes it kind of unusual among national parks is that it actually has an orchard here, and they grow a variety of fruits. And when they're in season, you can come and enjoy the fruit of the tree, which is kind of very neat, right?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Of course, now we're here in the middle of winter, so nothing is in season. But it sounds like fun. I think if you just eat the fruit while you're visiting, you don't have to pay for it. If you want to bring some home with you, then you have like a nominal fee for it. But also what sounds really cool is that they have freshly baked pies in season and stuff. So I think that's a really, really cool thing to check out if you're here during summer.
So there's a cliff here that you can see some petroglyphs on.
Oh, I see them.
Look. Look.
That's funny. I couldn't see them without one, but now that I have the telescope, I can see them really good.
Yeah, you can see them right up there and a little bit over there. That's interesting. Here's looking through the telescope. Can you see the pictures?
Yeah.
What do they look like?
The rock.
Do they look like pictures on the rock?
Yeah.
Look in there. You see that? Through there. Don't stick your nose in it. Just
Put your eyes up.
put your eyes through. Do you see through there? Yeah, do you see the pictures?
There actually were more petroglyphs over here, but if you look up there, the rock fell and destroyed the ones that were up here in that spot right beside them. So they have a picture of what it used to look like before the rock fell, see? So there was that whole extra thing that is now gone.
It's cool to think because when you see like a carving or a sculpture like in a museum, you know, you realize that somebody made that, but it was transplanted to a museum. But here, the artist was actually standing right up there when they drew that picture on the rock. It's neat because you can actually see the very same platform where they stood while they were carving it. So it kind of transports you back in time a little bit looking at this. It's funny because I was just saying earlier, you know, if these rocks could talk, what would they say? Well, here's some talking rocks right here.
Want to add some petroglyphs of your own, you might end up being fined $20,000.
Looks like some modern day petroglyphs going on up there. So that'd be cool. Before they had like, you know, paper, they had to, you know, communicate their thoughts on stone. That'd be pretty cool to tell a story that's gonna be around for forever, pretty much almost. Yeah, we can't do that these days, especially with you know, the computer age. We just type out things and I don't know, maybe it might stay around for millions of years on a server somewhere, but
unlikely.
It kind of loses something. It kind of loses the romantic side of things.
Technology is so fast. Stuff you recorded on VHS is now it's unusable basically.
Right, but that was just on tapes. You know, that was just a magnetic strip. But
oh,
like,
so you think the data on the cloud is that much secure?
Well, because they keep backing it up and they keep you know, improving it and making copies. So you know, it stays around unless somebody hacks in and deletes everything.
Right, you're gonna be going just like this. Poof.
Yeah. If you want to tell a story, have it be around forever, yeah, doing it on a rock is a good way to do it. Just not here. I don't want to spend $20,000 for a carving. Did somebody get tired out?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, you walked a long way, huh? So they're just all up and down this whole cliff. There's some there, there's some over there.
It's like a big little sheep, maybe
Yeah.
coyote or something.
And there's some up there. You have good balance there. Is Theo balancing too?
Yeah, he's doing a good job. It might look like it's all nice and warm and sunny and everything, but there's this wind that just is freezing cold. I'm pretty sure it's like freezing temperatures out here.
Yeah, it is super cold.
So this little cabin here was one of the first attempts at settling Capitol Reef in this area. And if you can believe, 13 people lived in that house.
That would be tight. I mean, this house is like, that's smaller than our motorhome. A lot smaller. 13 people lived in there?
How
Wow.
would you fit them all to sleep?
It must have been full of bunk beds.
You would think there would be a kitchen too, and a stove at the very least. How would they sleep in there? I don't know how would they fit. I mean, you have a fireplace, so even if you only had like, I don't know, a wood stove or something in the corner, how would you
That
fit?
would be hard.
I mean, you'd have to have like a chest for clothes, and you'd imagine usually settlers had at least a table.
It spent a lot of time outside.
Probably, but then how would they sleep in here? On the floor, I guess, maybe?
Yeah, they've got a fireplace, and the rest of the house is just empty. But wow, that's small. Yeah, that's a small house for 13 people.
Usually the kids would sleep in a loft or something, but that doesn't have a loft.
Yeah, they must have just all sprawled out on the floor.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, because, yeah, there's not really much you can fit in that space, even if you're, like, really modest with what you put inside.
Even like a dinner table would take up that much space
Yeah.
if everybody sat at the table.
I don't think they had a big table like that.
I like the construction though. They've got local sandstone rocks and clay. Mud roof. I like looking at old buildings because it's just, you know, there's the history, you know, and this house was built in 1882, so that's 136 years old. And you can see on this, what is this, a mantle? You can see the original like axe marks where they cut this plank by hand using an axe. Same thing above the window here. And then down here you can see on this rock, somebody carved a little squiggly line going across there. Looked like probably with a nail just chiseled it out. You know, is that something somebody did after they moved out, or was that one of the kids who lived in here just playing around carving something on the side of the house? It's pretty cool to think about. Spot. We're right off Highway 24 on BLM land. You can see the highway right through there, and off in the distance you can see the town of Torrey, I think it is. It's a real good location. These rocks are extraordinary view, and there's lots of campsites here actually, and they're all marked out with fire rings, and they're pretty close together. I can imagine in season it's probably pretty packed here. But right now it's winter, so there's no one here except us. And man, it's cold. We're actually right on the western side of Capitol Reef. The park entrance is just like right there. as you can see, something started going crazy with the footage there. I don't know what's going on, but since I'm recording with an Apple iPhone, something about it doesn't like to copy over to a PC laptop. So what I've been dealing with is some clips end up just copying over the file itself, but there's no data in the file. It's just a mess, and I really have no idea what's going on. Lots of out of sync audio, and the video is real choppy, and it switches back and forth from the beginning of the clip to the end of the clip. If anybody's had that problem, I would love it if you would tell me what's going on, because I need to fix this somehow, because this isn't the only time it's happened. It's happened periodically before, but just with B-roll clips, and so I can just chuck them because there's a whole lineup of B-roll clips that I filmed already. But for this particular sequence, I had a lot of talking and it's all gone. So yeah, if you know what's going on with my footage, go ahead and leave me a comment down there, because yeah, I have to figure this out. I did have a wrap-up sequence for this video, and it's just all a mess, not worth showing. But I pretty much did say everything that I wanted to say about the campsite and how it was real close to the park entrance. It was a really great spot to stay, and we really enjoyed it there. I would highly recommend boondocking there if you're ever in that area. So even though that footage was lost, I did manage to record one time lapse with my Panasonic camcorder, and that footage wasn't affected, so we'll leave you with that. All right, see you next time. Bye.